Please, I beg.
Everyone in the box. Bruno assist after all of this fuckery. Harry Maguire, back post. Come on. Do it for football.
Please. Come on.
Do it for football. He's on the floor already. This guy. Okay, no.
Look, they're starting already, bro. Ref, come on, man. Sure, just keep your hands to yourself, man. He's another one, you know. They're looking for any excuse to go down.
Come on, man.
Last kick.
Oh! Wait. Is it back?
Another corner? Got to blow the whistle.
I thought for a second, you know. I thought, here we go.
Fucking hell. At least we didn't lose. Jesus.
Shit game of
football. You tell him, Carrick. You tell him, fucking cheating pricks.
Shit game of football, that.
Oh, guys. Listen,
terrible game of football. Stinky.
I mean, what's happened here? Do we want handball or something? Oh. Just shit. Just get it off our screens. Just get it off. Fucking hell. Worst game ever.
Shittest game of football I've seen.
Absolutely shocking. Guys, I've got to get the match reactions done because I've got another prior engagement. It's a mental day. I'm going to go and get the reactions done. I'm going to leave you guys there to sort it out. Stop the overhyped flex. We move. Yeah, I know. It was a shit. That's what I said. Just that bloody hell. Anyway, I'm with you, like with AF. You know what I mean? 94 minutes of my life wasted. That's what that was. Right, guys, more reaction coming from me very, very shortly. Big up, DJ. Big up, man. Big up, man. We'll catch up. Big up,
Flex. Yes, Flex is gone. We're still here, DJ. We've now got the really difficult task of trying to make sense of that, of trying to analyze that and try and, I don't know, I would say make sense of it. Is there much to make sense of, really? I mean, let's get the super chats out of the way first. AES says, messed up Shaw pen on Brobby, so they won't give a red. Nightwing says, F the PGMOL. Yeah, for the one, that elbow on Bruno, I think that's a clear red card. I think that if Bruno does it, if Casemiro does it, if Leacher does it, it's a red. I think if a lot of people I think even if someone like Granit Xhaka did it, he probably gets a red card,
Yep.
As far as the game in general, I mean, the United players, they're just applauding the away fans, and they've got to, because thankfully, the majority of them, I guess, didn't have to travel too far. I mean, northwest and northeast is still a hefty trip, because DJ, that was not a lot of to watch there today, was there?
That is one of the worst performances under Carrick. I think we was talking about it just then. I think it is definitely either the first worst performance or second. It's close. Stinky performance, toothless. Just generally shit. It was a weird game of football because we were just hoping to steal it at the end, and that was the most exciting bit about it. Just that we were going to shithouse a win. But Sunderland, they should have easily been 2-0, 3-0 up easily. But again, their finishing was terrible. The DJ naysayers, the Carrick naysayers.
The DJ naysayers. Ignore him. Ignore him, DJ.
The Carrick naysayers. This is a fair bit of evidence for them. They'll pin this on Carrick, and he's the manager, so rightly so. But honestly, a shit performance. The 5 changes to the side. Referee was absolutely diabolical too. Just an all-round shit 3 p.m. game of football, Owen. Honestly, like just a shit game of football that I'm not gonna remember in a couple hours because it's just so shit. There's nothing to take away from that game. It was terrible, absolutely terrible. No excuses, man.
No, I agree. I think a really bad game of football. 2 teams, in the case of Sunderland, no attacking little bit of edge. From United, same situation. Not that we don't know this anyway, but we're a couple of absences away from being a bang average side that struggles to score goals or do much of anything. You take out someone like Casemiro. We've been mentioning it a lot, haven't we, this season? Saying, look, how you got to replace that next season. That's your task. Try and replace that influence. Because in those kind of games this season where we haven't played well, Casemiro's come up, score from a set piece, and change the game. And even right at the end there, it looks like maybe we might nick something. It's not a pretty game. It's also, I don't think, worth completely melting down. This is our future. This is what we're going to have next season. It's going to be this all over again. I think what it really was, like I said, a game at the end of the season with 2 teams that they know where they're at. Maine are in the Champions League. Sunderland are in the Prem. They're not really going to do much of anything else. real 3 p.m. shit quality game. United, if they're missing those people like Casemiro, we just didn't have a midfield at all today. That just got completely bypassed and run through. And again, we move on to the next. I mean, I know, like Flex kind of alluded to before he left, and you mentioned it too. I think we'll probably hear the loud, as Show says right there today, you wanted Carrick, and I hope you're happy. Oh, sure, I'm telling you, the thing I've got coming that I've alluded to a few times is fucking brilliant. Oh, it's the best thing ever. But I look at that as this is exactly the reason why the summer is so critical in terms of the transfers. That is exactly why. Not that we need to have 90 minutes to tell us that, we don't. But you look at it today, if we're gonna do what we have done this season, we'll get into the Champions League next season and also then compete in the competition as well. You ain't gonna do that with that team, are you?
Yeah.
No chance, and we're also going to have to rotate next season too. So if your rotated options is basically this, or if this is you're missing a couple of players, or you don't have your striker, you don't have your midfielder today, this is what it's going to be, then that ain't good enough. So that's why you're going to need transfers. That is why I've mentioned many a time, regardless of who's in charge. So let's say United see this today and they go, "Oh, I'm not even having Michael Carrick," blah blah blah. Fine, no problem. You put I don't know, Nagelsmann with that group today, they're going to have the same problem. You put Iriola with that group today, going to have the same problem. No coach out of what's available to us today is going to get a lot better. Look at Ruben. Ruben was the same. Ruben was the same. Like the quality there is really needed, and that's been the case under every coach. So I don't even think that's a Carrick thing. I think the people that won't want him will have their have been suspiciously absent over the last. When we were winning last week, they disappeared. Now they'll be back again. But again, that's fine, because if we beat Nottingham Forest next week or whatever, then they can go away again. Maybe we lose the last game of the season, they can come back. I don't give a fuck at this point. I really don't. I Man United are in the Champions League next season, and that's the direction that we're going. And I don't really, honestly think these remaining games of the season are going to tell us all that much. A lot of the questions we know the answer to. We're less of a team without Casemiro. We know that. We don't have another striker. I've been mentioning a million times, Joshua Zirkzee and a striker. We don't have that. Kobbie Mainoo needs support. We know that. Ahmad and Bumo, they're struggling. We need more options. From our fullbacks, they're not good enough. Mazraoui did okay today. Shaw does all right, but in terms of making the
next step
up, they're not that. So, I think that's just obvious, but. There's also, I don't think, any need to be like, super doom and gloom. Like I said, it's this. You got to look at where we're at versus today. Today was shit. It was a rubbish game, but fortunately, it has no bearing on our season at all. We've done what we need to do, so it's fine.
Today was a game about optics, really. If we put three past them, 4 past them, then the optics look really good. Obviously, fan bases will be in a good space mentally. But again, obviously now, because we're coming to sort of like that business end of the season where we've kind of wrapped up what our main objective was, the next thing now to look at is what we've been and I think we've been quite fair on this, is we wanted to address the Carrick stuff. Once the season was done, obviously season's coming to an end really soon. So all of these will then play into that narrative. It will play into the will he, won't he? Is he the right man? Isn't he the right man? I'm looking at, the chat. There's some people that really don't believe Carrick is the right man. And, you're entitled to your opinion. But one thing is for certain, and you said it, Owen, is that we knew about the issues and the problems that the squad had all season. We've seen it all season. We know exactly what needs to be done. We know what areas of the pitch need to be addressed. And my kind of focus turns to recruitment. And for me, it's always going to be recruitment. Not always, but in this particular point, recruitment over whoever the manager is and the coaches, because we need to bring 3 solid, good midfielders in. I'm going to give you guys my 3 right this minute, whether we get them or not. I would like Mateus Fernandes from West Ham. I want Carlos Baleba, and I want Tchouaméni as the 3 we bring in with Kobe to make that 4. Tchouaméni is going to be the disciplined 6. Mateus Fernandez, he's a bit of an 8 and a 6. Baleba, he can maybe play an 8 and a 6 on, but he's probably a bit more of a 6. So I would go for those 3 players and then bring in a left wing, bring in a forward player. Maybe we're going to go for that older forward player to, maybe sort of just be ahead of Sesko there. But we need changes. We do need changes, and we need to raise the athletic profile of the team as well. You saw today that Sunderland, athletically, they were quicker than us. They were stronger than us. They wanted it more. First, fair enough. If you're not going to win the first ball, at least win the second. Fergie's teams were great at winning at least the second ball, and we struggled with that today. But these are all things that we know. There's nothing new I learned today about this Manchester United team. It was just a stinky performance because of the changes as well. And I think Carrick, I don't know, innit? I don't know what more he could have done. Bringing on Mbeumo, great. But otherwise than that, I think a lot of us, if we were in his seat today, we probably would have made the same change. So, yeah, it has no bearing on anything at the moment, but it is something to think about towards the end of the season.
Yeah, I think so. I think, like I said, as you said, I don't think we learn anything new today. I don't think you look at that, God, I didn't think Man United had that in their locker. I didn't think we've seen that a lot. I didn't think that some of these players had that in their locker or what have you. So I'm not too shocked by that. Like you said, if anything, it just reinforces what we already know. I think that I had hoped going into today that we wouldn't see the we've basically done everything we need to done. It doesn't really matter. We'll jog around for a bit. And it's disappointing to see that we did see that to an extent, particularly during periods, I think, in the second half. But at the same time, it's either way. There's just no need to be an extreme reaction. Not that it's a nothing game, but Sunderland, they've had a good season, decent team at home. Going away in the Prem's always difficult. It needs to be better. But again, this is what we know. A lot of the players that are in that team, particularly in the midfield, at points today, they played right through us because we don't have a midfield. We don't have it. Mason Mount can't play in that position alongside Kobe. Absolutely not. I mean, you're talking about putting square pegs in round holes there. So yeah, but I'm
just more like triangle in round holes, man.
Yeah, exactly. And then with Xerxes being up front, this is the problem you have. It's not a goal threat, is it? And if he's there to link up the play, good touches, he didn't really do that today. We really missed having Šeško in there. And I think also this is when it's so disappointing that Bryan Mbeumo has fallen off, because in an ideal world, you'd put Bryan Mbeumo there and he's playing all right, but even he doesn't feel like he's going to get a goal at the moment a little bit. So it just a bad game of football. But at the end of the day, like I said, we're still in a fine position. We're still good. We're still in the Champions League next season. We're still third in the league, and we go from there. Nothing hinged on today as well. You know what I mean?
That's why I said it was just an optics thing. It's just like, okay, what they're going to do today, kind of thing. Yeah.
But then that's what makes it so funny, because I think now there is an effort to make it feel like today really did mean something more than it does. You know what I mean? So, which again goes back to that. I was right. See, I told you we drew 0-0 to Sunderland, so I was right here. But last week, when it was 3-2, when Sunderland qualifying for the Champions League, there was a lot of that, wasn't there? After every negative performance, like this is how happy I am with United, where they've finished the season where they're at. I'm thrilled that when we finish this stream, I don't know about you, DJ, or when we finish this, I can go away from today's game and not have to dwell on it, not have to worry about it, not have to go, just go, oh, it's all right, it's okay, it's cool. It's annoying, but it's what it is. It's fine. Move on. Next one. It's not like, fuck, now we're not going to qualify Champions League, or now we're not going to get players. Now we're not going to get this. Now we're not going to get that. Like, you just go, it's shit, end of the season, you move on,
Yeah. I think bringing it sort of like back to Carrick just quickly, I would say that I think one of the things was on paper, the objective was Champions League football. That's what the objective was. And everyone was going to base Carrick off of that. He's achieved that. And I think he's done an incredible job to achieve that. But then now, obviously, people are going to take a deeper dive into, okay, how did he achieve that? But then again, when you look at his record, it's really good. It's a really good record. It's a really good record since he came in. And then obviously there's the caveat of, okay, next year we're going to have way more football. He needs a larger squad. He's going to have to change it up at times. He's going to have to rotate players. He's going to have to deal with some players not playing much and them not liking that fact. We've already kind of seen, Mbumo not really in the best of moods in the last couple of weeks. So there's a lot. There's a whole new facet to Carrick that he's going to have to bring forward. And that's what everyone's attention's on. In this game, as I said, it was a narrative thing where it's like, okay, let's see what United can do. Yeah, 5 players out. I'm not making any excuses. Worst game of football I've seen in a long time. Yeah, from both sides, to be fair. Sunderland just couldn't put the ball in the back of them.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
I said it's terrible in football.
Yeah, but I do agree with you in a sense of I'm going to go away from this game this afternoon and I'm going to still be okay because I'm just going to think, look, we know what we need to do. I didn't learn anything new today. I didn't learn anything new that we didn't already know. I didn't.
Couple of super chats. Dwayne says, if Ruben was still here, we would have lost 3-0. Carrick has added a backbone to this team. No need to panic. Just leave with a point. The thing is, I'm not even like that. I'm not even like, honestly, like with the whole, the Carrick in and Carrick out stuff, honestly, like I said, it genuinely is a bit of a shame because you would love to be in a position where you could have open and frank debates about it. But we're not at that point, unfortunately. Like, you really do have to, like I was mentioning this after the Liverpool win, you have to get into this weird mindset now of just like, actually, you don't like Carrick or you didn't like that. Okay, cool. I can't even be bothered to have the argument anymore. Yeah. I can't even be, I can't even be asked to have the conversation, which again is a shame because there should be a space where you can, have the back and forth, but it's not there anymore. Like I said, unfortunately, it has got so twisted and turned into being proven right that it's ridiculous. It's just completely out of control. And it was out of control at Ruben. Yeah. And like I said, I've got something coming up in a few weeks' time that will show you how ridiculous and silly it's got. Because there was a lot of strange victory laps going on in January that now look incredibly foolish. But it's, like you said, you move on, unfortunately, you just move on. It'll be there. And genuinely, I think the only way to continue through it is literally just to, like I say, almost ignore it, which seems so shit, but that's where it is now, where you just go, what we've conceded or we haven't won today. All right, here comes the wave of, here comes he's a clown, he's a puppet. You again, you don't know ball, you don't know football, and you just go, cool, fine,
because he's got to be perfect in every way. He has to be perfect in absolutely every way. Apparently,
I mean, and I'm genuinely tired of it, like to the point where there are, and this is where it gets so stupid, where there are genuine concerns and there are like genuine points that do make sense, but because it gets so ridiculous, like then they do get ignored or they do get overlooked because it gets so stupid. You know what I mean? It gets so stupid and so ridiculous that you're just like, can't even have the conversation anymore. And it's just like, okay, cool, like no problem. And like we'll be back next week. If we win, I guess we won't be having a conversation. If we don't win, we'll see you again in 7 days' time, because that's how it works.
That's how it goes, man. That's how it goes.
And it's just like, okay, cool. And then it's just so bad. And you just want to go, okay, cool, no problem. And I just, the other part of it is I just cannot understand the feeling where you would come out today and go, damn, my team didn't lose, but I was right. So fuck it, actually. I can go around and tell people that today was a win for me. Today was a win for me. Not for everyone else, but a personal victory for me, and I'll go with that. And then you go like, guys, none of us won today. You know what I mean? And then the weird part is when you do have a conversation with it, and you'll go like, okay, so what do you mean by that? What do you mean by this? So again, it's inconsistent. Okay, what do you mean by inconsistent? And then it's just like, no, hold that. You should be embarrassed. You don't know ball. Hold that. Hold that. You go, hold what? Hold that. We drew today. What? We didn't. None of us won. I'll be honest, DJ. I'm even uncomfortable with the whole, again, like Carrick inners. Us Carrick inners. Fuck that. Fuck this Carrick inners or Carrick outers. We're Man United fans.
Yeah.
And it's just,
there's always going to be division, though, innit? You're never going to make anybody happy. You could go get a Nagelsmann that comes in and maybe he struggles, and then you'll have people saying, "Oh, well, we should have gone with Carrick." And look, whoever gets selected for this job, hopefully, let's get behind them and support them, and that's the main thing, innit? And hopefully, they're supported by the board and Ineos, because this is probably one of the biggest summers. Maybe we say it every summer, but I think this feels like the biggest summer, because if we can get it right, then we can really push ourselves further up where we need to be. I'm not saying we're going to win a title next year, but let's be in and around those positions quite comfortably, at least. You know what I mean? So from the offset. So yeah.
Copham says, "Oh, and you said who counts shot in the game when we will win 3-2 against Liverpool because it was ridiculous. You know, in a game where you lose 0-0. And again, this is what I mean with stuff like this. It's just like everything's just a gotcha of like, I was right. You said this, then I was right, and you just sort of go, oh, cool, man. If that's what you want, then that's fine. Or again, this reality check, you're in for next season. Okay, cool. Then I'll take that next season. You know what I mean? Because if that's really, honestly, if that's really what it's about, then like I said, you do you, we'll do, or I'll do me. DJ will do DJ.
Yep.
And then you can tell us next season that you were right or wrong, and like, because the other part of it as well. If let's say next season we're winning, right, DJ? Let's say next season we do well. Then what? I'll tell you what. Then it'll be something else. It's just it's not good enough still.
Yeah, it's not good enough still, or the way we play, the style of play. You know, everyone, they go to default style of play thing. They go to a default style of play. Under Amram, we was under Amram, we was set out a certain way. We had a style of play that might not have been nice and good to watch, but there was a style of play there. You know, Carrick.
The reality is
back to
this is the truth of the facts today. Today was a terrible game. It was a terrible performance from both teams. It felt like a bog standard 3 p.m. end of season Premier League game. And then you go, right, does it have any bearing on us this season? No. You go, oh shit, then you move on. Now, if it's, if today was like we need to win to get Champions League, then you go into a different conversation. Yeah. But you look at it today, you go, did you learn anything new? No. Did you, positively or negatively? Not really. You go, okay, is there anything we can do about it between now and the end of the season? No. Is it going to change between now and the end of the season? No. You go, right, well, then we might as well get to the end of the season and then make some big decisions and bring some players in. Now, if in a year's time, regardless of who the coach is, if Man United are playing like this again and putting that level of performance, then you start going, well, something's gone wrong over the last 12 months. Mm-hmm. But aside from that, you just go, well, you just get to the end of the season,
Yeah.
It's just, in like a couple months' time, we're looking at transfers and we're looking at next season in the Champions League and what have you. It's a dead rubber game. It means nothing. We like wrap up. Heaven says, the midfield needs an overhaul. We get played through today, and also with Carrick, and it's going to seem like a massive defense or whatever. Genuinely, if you were in charge today, like what else can you really do? Who else can you really pick from there? We're going to have Fletcher brothers in midfield. Move Leacher a bit forward. He's played there once for United. I mean, who else have we got that could come on in midfield? Who else could come on? Mazraoui could go there. Like, genuinely, who else could have played in midfield today? Bruno dropped back a bit deeper, maybe. So whoever it is, they'll need those players. Like, my goodness me. Could you imagine Andoni Areola today asking that midfield to run around, as well? Like, players, you know what I mean? We need players like, because then even today, and this is the other part of it too, imagine we tried to play possession today. Imagine those players trying to pass it. Imagine those players trying to get 60, 70% possession. Could you imagine that?
It's impossible, virtually impossible.
Would have been literally impossible.
Literally impossible.
You know what I mean? We sort of tried to do passes. So, and this is the other part of it too. We've seen that team play possession under Ruben. We had a lot more of the ball, and it didn't do anything. So It's just with this group, it's just get to the end of the season and then try and go from there. And thank goodness me, we've actually, we've got
we've got what we needed, isn't it? Yeah, we've got what we
from
needed out of it. Yeah.
My goodness. There you go, guys. And a couple more super chats here. Red Baron says the good faith arguments get drowned out by crap. And that's the point I was trying to make, Red Baron, that in an ideal world, you would have those conversations. And maybe this is where now it comes from, of people going, no, they don't feel that they've been heard, because the conversation isn't allowed to happen, because immediately it just turns into, if you go like, I like Carrick, you don't know ball. And conversely, if you don't like Carrick, you get, you don't know ball as well. And it's impossible. So that's genuinely the best thing to do is just go, am I happy with where I am at the moment or where we are? Yes. Move on. You just can't, which is a real shame, because you should be able to have conversations, but you really can't, which is so shit. Ronnie Dodge says, don't get the overreaction. We got Champions League, move on. And Ronnie also says, we got Champions League football. People need to touch grass. Yeah, well, it'll be until the next one. We didn't win today, so that means, as usually the cycle goes, we now have a week of even more, debate about what is good and what isn't, until we win the next one. But we move on indeed. So there you go, guys. More reaction to come from Flex after the game. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe. Isn't that right, Ashley? You said a win. You got your prediction wrong again. Terrible. You're not a clairvoyant dog. You're not Paul the Octopus. Anyway, guys, have a good Saturday, and we'll speak to you again soon. We're out of here. Peace.